The Epistles of Wisdom, or Rasa'il al-Hikma, is a corpus of sacred texts and pastoral letters by teachers of the Druze Faith, which has currently close to 1 million faithful, mainly in Lebanon, Syria, Israel and Jordan. The Druze Canon. The full Druze Canon, a Druze scripture, includes the Old Testament, the Quran, and philosophical works by Plato and those influenced by Socrates, among works from other religions and philosophers. The Druze claim that an understanding of these is necessary, but that their al-Hikma have access to writings of their own that supersede these. The Epistles of Wisdom are also referred to as the Kitab al-Hikma and al-Hikma al-Sharifa. Other ancient Druze writings include the Rasa'il al-Hind and the previously lost manuscripts such as al-Munfarid by Datihi and al-Sharia, al-Ruhaniya, as well as others including didactic and polemic treatises. Description: the Epistles of Wisdom were revealed in the Arabic language and contain 111 epistles in total. They are organized into 6 books, first compiled by one of the greatest Druze sages, Abd Allah al-Tanaki, in 1479 AD. According to oral traditions, there were originally 24 books. 18 are reasonably assumed to have been lost, hidden or destroyed. Epistle number 6 is dated earliest and was written in July 1017 AD by Hamza ibn Ali ibn Ahmad, and he is specifically mentioned as the author of 30 more epistles in the first 2 books. Epistles 109 and 110 are dated latest, written by al-Muqtana Baha'uddin in 1042 AD. Epistles 36 to 40 are attributed to Ishmi al-Tamimi ibn Muhammad. The first epistle opens with the goodbye message from al-Hakim by Amra Allah, the original teacher of the Druze. He details his efforts to assist his people's welfare and peace and urges them to remain upright. History: the Druze religious establishment's interpretation of taqiyya and the esoteric nature of the faith led to the restriction of access, inquiry and investigation from even their own uninitiated Druze, known as al-Jismaniyin. Such restrictions aim to prevent possible damage to the individual and community if the writings were interpreted incorrectly. Since the study of the Epistles of Wisdom is better accompanied by commentary texts and guidance from the higher-ranking Druze Druze manuscripts are generally written in a language, grammar and diction that, to the uninitiated, is hard to understand and includes ambiguous words and highly obscure and cryptic phrases. In addition to the extensive usage of symbology and numerology in much of the writings, a Syrian physician gave one of the first Druze manuscripts to Louis XIV in 1700, which is now kept in the Bibliothèque Nationale. Local disturbances such as the invasion of Ibrahim Pasha between 1831 and 1838, along with the 1860 Lebanon conflict, caused some of these texts to fall into the hands of academics. Other original manuscripts are held in the Robert Garrett collection at Princeton University. Sami Makarim has published sections of the works in English with commentary from a Druze compendium held in the Sheikh Nasib Makarim collection in Eitat, Lebanon. The first French translation was published in 1838 by linguist and Orientalist Antoine Isaac Baron Sylvestre Assassi in Expose de la religion des Druzes. Another edition of the Rasa'il al-Hikma was published by pseudonymous writers in Lebanon in 1986 as part of the highly controversial The Truth series, which included several anti-Druze, anti-Alawite and anti-Islamic books, and was banned by the authorities for containing misleading information and hate speech. Also, an unpublished dissertation by David Breyer was prepared on the first 2 volumes. A French translation and critical examination of these first 2 volumes from the Epistles of Wisdom was published in 2007 by Daniel de Smet, who has provided a doctrinal introduction, notes, a description and inventory of the manuscripts and studies of the contents and characteristics. Contents. The epistles contain philosophical discourses about Neoplatonic and Gnostic subjects, Ptolemaic cosmology, Arabic paraphrases of the philosophies of Farabi, Plotinus and Proclus, writings on the universal soul, along with several polemic epistles concerning other faiths and philosophies that were present during that time, and towards individuals who were considered renegades, of those who tried to distort and tarnish the reputation of the faith and its teaching, such as the Answering the Nazari epistle and the 5th volume of the Epistles. Most of the epistles are written in a post-classical language, often showing similarities to Arab Christian authors. The texts provide formidable insight into the incorporation of the universal intellect and soul of the world in 11th century Egypt, when the deity showed itself to men through Fatimid Caliph al-Hakim and his doctrines. These display a notable form of Arabic Neoplatonism blended with Ishmaelism and adopted Christian elements of great interest for the philosophy and history of religions. It is believed by the Druze from interpretation of the epistles that al-Hakim did not die, but merely withdrew into occultation and will return one day and reveal the Druze wisdom to the world in order to inaugurate a golden age. Quotes.